celebrated very well on the 19th of March, which was a Saturday. Okay. We had a church service at the Cathedral Church of Christ. Okay. Now I'm an Anglican, and that's the church that I attend. Okay. And we had a church, a communion service, communion Thanksgiving service at 12 o'clock. And then after that, we went to um, Gboyega, or and we had lunch with reception for a few friends, family, 120 people. But it's not all, the hall is not all that. But besides, I didn't want too much elaborate celebration. I just wanted a very compact celebration. And then after that, my friends at Freedom Park on the following Friday, 25th of March, Losing and Yenikuti and so many other friends, especially my friends at campus in Lagos Island, Ashiwaju Bola, Bola Jimenez. We all assembled at the Freedom Park. And we also had a big show there. Shimon Lotta was on the bandstand. And we had a good time. And then on Sunday, 27th March, we had a conclusive reception at Umutu Restaurant, which is Uju belongs to one of my classmates. And that was especially organized for the old grammarian society. I attended the same school, the oldest secondary school in Nigeria, the class of 64, 68. I did my school started 60. So we had the concluding reception at Umutu Restaurant. That was also very well attended. And we had 4 events, and we thank God it was all successful. Well, I would say definitely from secondary school. I told you I attended the same school from 64 to 68, and I was very, very well interested in fine arts. Well, and then we were taught by one of the best art teachers in Lagos Secondary School, Mr. Ajepe. His name was Mr. Ajepe. He later went and taught at the Development. And apart that had to do with arts, painting, visual arts, and all that. But my love for music started from watching my uncle, my father's younger brother. He used to be the tax inspector of the Western region. Then he's Tunde Adelaja's father. I don't know if you know Tunde Adelaja, Rosabelle advertising. Yes, his late father. He used to play the organ. I used to admire, and he had an organ in his house. I used to admire how he does that. Anytime we go there to spend holidays, we used to live in Ibadan. That was how I started to get involved with music. And of course, in secondary school, we had a music band. And that was how I developed my musical talent before I traveled to the US. By the time I went to the US in 1970 to attend Howard University School of Architecture, I was a very good piano player. And you asked me how I got about that. As far as fine art and music is concerned, that was how I got involved in those two. Well, apart from the fact that these people say you don't look at the external, me myself that I'm 70, I can feel that, you know, I, I'm definitely getting old, no doubt, but I feel very fine, thanks to God, because somebody asked me during the celebration, why is it that I look a bit younger for my age? I said, well, it was Jimmy Disu that asked me on his radio. And I said, well, I don't let anything bother me. Before I used to, when I was younger, I used to report that who have not attained, I have not attained this, I have not attained that, but now I don't let anything bother me. And I try not to think about too much about negative things. I always try to think positively. And of course, I thank God all by the reason. But I feel well. I feel well at the age of 70, and I will want to feel better. I just I just thank God because I spend the night here because of the distance from Shanguted not to be late for the church service. I slept here and I woke up, me and my wife, we said prayers because it's a landmark, landmark age. And but I felt, oh, so this is me. I'm 70. I started to remember when I was 12. I was in secondary school at the age of 12, and it was like my whole life just went through my mind on that morning. But because I'm a very strong Christian, I also felt that I had to thank my God, my Creator, for watching over me, because my life has been one eventful life. I'm telling you, as an artist that played with you, Masekela, had accidents, had a few accidents, almost a plane crash, and almost drowned in a swimming pool in Hollywood. I almost said Hollywood when I was playing in Masekela in California. So all that played through my mind, and I said, I have to be grateful to God Almighty for granting, for saving my life up to today. And I also thought about my family, my beautiful wife, my two children, my extended family, my siblings, my elder sister, brothers. And my life just played like a movie, and I was happy. And I also thought about city people. And so many other people that have done fantastic journalism in Nigeria. I mean, most of them are my friends. Mayo Akinpelu, Femi Akintunde, so many of them, because we all started together in the early 90s, I mean 1990, when we started Solar. But it was good. I felt very great on the morning of my 70th birthday. Well, the lessons I've learned is, first, to be truthful. See, I'm the son of Venerable Archdeacon of the Anglican Church. And my parents were educationists. My mother, late mother, started the Adelaja Secondary School, which used to be called the Secondary Grammar School, Bagada. My father was the principal of the CMS Grammar School, one of the longest serving principal of the CMS School, the oldest secondary school in Nigeria. And what they always taught us was to be truthful in life, whatever position we found ourselves, whatever we do, so that even if you ask most of my friends, they will tell you that General, when he's a very straightforward person. If he says this, he will say he has an open heart, and he's a man who will say, ask for no quarter, give no quarter. And that is the principle that I've lived with in my life, to speak the truth, not to fear men, but God. Don't fear men, but fear God. And to be straightforward, because my father used to tell me that if you lie about something and you are cross-examined, you will start thinking of another lie to cover that lie. So, but if you say the truth and nothing but the truth, if they ask you, you say that truth and you keep saying it. That is the truth. And you don't have to say anything else. The truth will definitely set us free. Well, the only thing is the Christian aspect, and the preaching. But every morning before Papa went to school, we all live together on the same roof. A few other, my mother used to have a boarding house, that also had many other young men who have become big men today. Tayo Amushan, who owns ShopRite. We all live together. Like John Adesanya, Gori Ogbara, former Lagos State House of Assembly, late Tunda Fini, Toyosi Folawiyo, or more Papa Folawiyo. We all lived mother's boarding house. But we were brought up as Christians to be very forthright. So that has helped me in my life. To live a very simple life. But you also know that someone like Fela came out of a venerable Reverend house. But to me, Fela was not a bad person. He was also forthright. He only fought with his music. And to me, too, that is, I'm trying to do my music, my art. But I have this background coming from religious background. And so, I always express my opinions the way I feel that it is the truth that I'm talking about. And I'm not a material person. But that doesn't mean I've never been involved in any fraud or anything. I don't need to, because of the background that I come from. Never talk. I've not even talked about my royal background. That's my father. He was, from the ruling house in Ijebu land, and he was asked to come and become the Awujale. I can't remember the exact year now. Because he was right, it was the family's time to turn to become. And he said no, he was already involved in church and all that. So, like I was trying to say, I think the simple Christian life that we were taught has brought me this far. And I pray to God that I continue to appreciate the Christian values that we were brought up with. And while we are praying for our country and the whole world, that this whole thing will go in our face, like what is going on in Ukraine, what has been going on in our country. Not even the war, the corruption, the values that has gone down. Very scary. But what will the future be for our children? But we thank God. To be honest, we thank God. Coming back for the US was not to settle down. It was first tax 77 that brought many of us. But it was postponed for maybe over 10 years. Nigeria was to host it. And eventually Nigeria hosted it in 1977. So it was first time that brought most of us home. And when we came back, I left in 1970, 7 years before. And within 7 years, and I only came back home once within those 7 years. I think it was 1973. But by the time we came back, I came back in 1977, everything has changed. Nigeria. I said, oh, so my country can be as beautiful as this? And I said, I was not going to go back home. And I think, I won't say I made a mistake. It was just something, because I had finished my education. I was playing with Huma Sekela at that time. We had toured the whole of America. We toured from east to south, to east to west, north to south. We toured all over the state, United States, playing music. At the tender age of, I think I was 21 to 24. I was playing the piano, keyboards. And when I came back home, I said, I wouldn't want to go back to America. Nigeria is equally as good. And my father got me a job at NTA. You know, Chief Shegun Olushola was the general manager there. And I made good friends with the late young Yemi Okusoya. He was a pianist, he was a musician, and was in NTA working as a producer. So both of us with other people, Birapu, Dende Gilbert, late Dende Gilbert, many, if I can't remember their names, I'm very sorry. We ran the variety section of NTA. Then we were producing variety programs. We were producing Adelaja from National Theatre every Sunday from 12 noon. Families will come. This same National Theatre that is run down now, that is shadow of its hotel. We were producing Adelaja every 12 noon. Families used to come from church, bring their children and all that, buy coffee, cakes, Fanta, drinks and all that, and then come and watch us Adelaja live. And that was the kind of life thing. So that is what we did at NTA. I'm very happy I worked at NTA. Mr. Chris Abie was our head of section. He's still alive now. Chief Shegun Olushola is late, general manager of the station. But NTA taught us a lot, apart from what we already knew. NTA taught us a lot. Me as a producer, because that's what I'm doing today. I mean, as a television producer, producing documentaries, musical videos. When we started Solar Productions in 1991, produced Tina the Ways video, Umeka Onwenu's We Are the Women of Africa. So many documentaries, TV commercials, thousands of TV commercials. I still do that today. My cousin, Remy Ogunkujon, I don't know if you know him, we started Solar together. It was my idea, but I brought Remy in. Brilliant young man, and you can see he's doing very, very well. Although we parted ways after some time. That is another story altogether. Why we parted ways. But I'm very happy for him. He's doing so very well there. I mean, Olumide Ofere, associate director at Solar. And the history is there, what Solar did television. And before Solar, I was working with Diran Ajije Baba Elewi, Baba Kewi. We started Ajaka Video Films together. We were the first company that was covering social events, weddings, naming ceremonies, funerals. With those our 1, 2 cameras of those days, compared to digital cameras of today. Those days the camera was separate, the recorder was separate. So today everything is together and everything. So anyway, we thank God. We keep thanking God for all His goodness and mercy. I'm very sad because I was born here because I drank water, Lagos water. I rode tires on Lagos roads, just like any other young person. I went to secondary school here and I knew how the country was in those days. I went to America for 7 years, came back home, and after there was war, and then when we were in secondary school, came back home and we thought things would be better. I was one of the children that marched at the race course on October 1st, 1960. I was just 8 years old, 8 plus, because I was born in 1952, March 19. Even at that age, we thought our country, we could think now that Nigeria got independent. Oh, I think it was around that time that John F. Kennedy too was assassinated as president of the US. But we all had very high hopes for our country. But look at what is happening in our country. Anybody will be very sad how the standard of life has fallen, the kind of leaders Nigeria has produced, the kind of leaders Nigeria wants to produce in the nearest future, the kind of people. They have wrecked the country. I mean, it's only by God's grace that we are surviving. And I am scared of the future. How many years do I have at the age of 70? Maybe another 20 years. Can I ask you a question? Where will Nigeria be in 20 years? How will Lagos be in 20 years? This one that people are scared, ritual killings, insecurity, is it herdsmen or whatever. The danger signs are all over. So, and we keep praying, praying, praying. It's not only prayers that will solve it. It's not going to church and being at night. I think somebody has to hold the bull by the horn. All of us, especially journalists. We who call ourselves journalists. We have to hold the bull by the horn and help the country to get out of this, or whatever you call it. Because really, the country is not good. It's not safe. They're not safe. They're just walking on thin ice. And we have to. I'm not feeling too good about Nigeria. I'm not feeling good. I don't think anybody